So I'm gonna start on the floor today. So if you guys have a blanket you want to soften your mat a little bit with, feel free to do that. If you have a scarf, belt, strap, something, we are going to do a little AB adduction. Normally in the yoga class when we have lots of props, I'll have everybody have a bolster to catch their leg. You can also use a block. And if you guys do have a yoga block handy, have one, because I think it's just always good to have props for extra support. So I am going to focus today on the functional lines. I specifically really want to focus more on the Latissimus dorsi, the broad back muscles, and have us tune in to those aspects in our body and how the lats support our shoulder girdle and our arms in movement. So that's really the focus of the sequence today. So to begin, we're going to come onto our backs into a bent knee position. And we're just going to rest our hands here at the base of the ribs, right next to the solar plexus. And we'll start with a little bit of breath work. If you'd like to close your eyes. Begin to breathe in through the nose. And as you're breathing in, feel the movement of your hands here at the base of the ribs. Inviting the bones to meet your hands on the inhale, and as you exhale, the bones will softly move away of the ribs. And continue that awareness of expanding through the diaphragm on the inhale and feeling the retraction of the ribs on the exhale. Allow your hip bones to become slightly heavy and allow the sacrum between the hip bones to float between the two bones of the hips. And conversely, notice the back of your head, feeling support in the back of the skull, on the earth. And we'll do 3 rounds of baby dragon's breath, which is making a gentle ha sound in the back of the throat. Take a big inhale in. Exhale on out. Again, inhale in. Exhale on out. And one more time. Inhale. And exhale. Soften your mouth close. And I'll leave it up to you. You can do normal breath. And for some people, just a real slight ha sound in the back of the throat, like ujjayi, victorious breath, is more comforting for their nervous system. So if you like ujjayi, that gentle wave-like sound, feel free to do that. Keeping the jaw soft, keeping the front of the neck, the skin there soft with your ujjayi. And we're going to start with rolling from side to side. So open up your eyeballs. Get big with the eyes. Look to the right with the eyes first. And then we're going to let everything follow, like almost like you're just flopping onto your right side. just like a baby in the crib. And now begin to track your eyes over the ceiling, look to the other side, and then your whole body's going to follow the eyeballs, and you'll flop to the opposite side. So continue tracking the eyes, rotating up and over, look to the other side, be curious, oh wow, what's over there? And just flop. And again, we'll keep doing that. And this is from original strength movement, primal movement, some of the first movements we do in our life. Keep working that. Let the eyeballs lead. Really good for people as they're aging to reconnect with original strength. From side to side. And as you do that, feel your side body, the side functional line. As you're rolling over, notice how we roll over our Latissimus dorsi. We're making our way through the thoracic lumbar fascia and the low back. Lots of awareness as you track through these muscles in the shape and the pattern that they create on your back body. Do that a couple more times. Getting sensory awareness of our lats. And now slowly come back onto your back body, restorative rest posture, bent knee position. And now we're going to track the lower half. Bring your hands around your solar plexus at the base of the ribs again. And we're just going to drop the knees out to the right and feel that movement moving across the front. Notice what inner thigh tightens up and which one loosens. Inhale back up and exhale, rock the opposite direction. Again, noticing if you tighten up on one side and one side feels looser as you play with this movement. Feel the movement through the lats and the low back. Feel the support coming up from the base of the feet. Engaging each toe as you rock from side to side. Inhaling to center and exhale, rocking to the opposite direction. If you'd like to add the counter gaze with the head, as you drop your knees to the left, look over the right shoulder, even look up with the eyeballs. And find this quality of rocking and fluidity. Have yumminess going up through your spine. And one more time to the left. And inhale, come back up. Now we're going to roll onto our right sides. We're going to bring our arms out. And we're going to stack the hands in on each other. Just let your head be relaxed here. And the movement we're going to do is to practice spiraling through the lats. We're going to inhale first. We're going to, almost like we're splitting the hands apart, reach your fingertips long. Then bring the hand up. Let your eyeballs follow. And gaze over the left shoulder. And then bring that back. Almost like you're bringing the hands together in a clap. And do that again. Inhale, reach long with the fingertips. Take that up and over. Counter gaze over the shoulder. And bring that back over. And we'll do that 3 more times on this side. Not so concerned here about syncing breath and movement. Just allow full inhales and exhales to happen as you need it. And one more time, really opening up, broadening through the chest. And bring that back up. And then we're going to switch sides. So roll over to your left side. Feel the connection. Relax the head. Again, plant your hands. We're going to reach the fingertips long and bring it over. And then bring that back. And we're warming up the lats, feeling the connection through the twist. Be curious with your eyeballs as you look up and over. They're following through the hand. And one more time. And gently roll back onto your back, coming into the bent knee position again. Let's just take a moment to center into our breath. Feel your Latissimus dorsi on your back body, meeting the mat. Let's bring the fingertips up to the jaw. And I just want you to feel your mandible. Be curious about your jawbone for a second. Notice how large it is. And then we're going to use this palpation. You can use your thumb and your pointy finger here to keep the jawbone from lifting up when we do an inhalation. So we're going to lift up with the top of our mouth first. So inhale through the nose and begin to lift up and hold the jaw back. And now let it go, let it follow second. And then exhale, bring the top of the mouth down, the hard palate down, tuck, and resist the jaw from coming down. And then let it follow. Okay? So it's 2 separate movements. Hard palate goes up, then the jaw comes second, and then when the hard palate comes down, which is the top of the mouth, the jaw comes next. So just play with that for a little bit in yes movement. Really complete the tucking through, lengthening the back of the neck. So I'm going to trust that you have that now. You can bring the hands down and just practice yes movement. Widen the base of your nose. And maybe you'll start to feel that your spine wants to start to play with the upper cervicals and the jaw and that movement. So in reclining cat-cow, find the tip of your tail. As you lift up with the hard palate, reach through the coccyx. Feel that movement moving up through each vertebra. And exhale, tucking with the hard palate first. Bringing the tops of the hips gently down and back, feeling the movement through the lower back, then the upper back, and let the two ends meet each other. And then we'll continue that, a nice fluid cat-cow, lots of awareness of each vertebra having an undulation, seaweed-like quality. Noticing the breath expanding through the movement. Now bring your awareness into the ribs that are just behind your shoulder blades in your back body, and see if you can invite some breath there. And then invite the breath into the lower ribs of the back body, creating some energy and space around the kidneys. And then one other place for a nice fluid awareness is from the top of the pubic bone, belly first, noticing lengthening on the inhale. So where my hands are at right now, there's space happening, and then as you exhale, the two hands would come together. Beautiful. Soften into the neutral for a moment. So we're going to do kind of a scooping up of our pelvis today. So this might be new for some of you. So find your pubic bone. We're going to bring our hands kind of deep underneath the belly here. And we're going to grab some of that tissue and we're going to gently lift up. Now back to the reclining cat-cow. We're going to inhale. Find the arcing through the low back. Reach the pubic bone towards the feet. Now keep the lift up and exhale. Bring the tops of the hips back. Now keep lifting and scooping up the abdomen. Find your arc. Lift through the chin. And then exhale, bring that back down. And then one more time. Lifting up through the abdomen here. And exhale, relax that. Beautiful. So that is really specifically learning how to train, and we're lifting up the bladder, uterus, and the pelvic floor with that scoop. Hug back with the right leg. Soft yoking of the foot. Take it out towards the armpit. Notice where you feel the stretch. Just breathe in to any place that you feel ease today. Where does it feel like it's easy? And then with your next inhale, we're going to straighten through the leg, Paschimottanasana, interlace the hands back on the hamstring. If you prefer to use a strap, just grab your straps behind the legs for support, if that's easier for you. Find stillness in the posture to start. Reach your right sits bone, the ischial tuberosity, towards the earth, and imagine your right heel reaching to the sky. explore that space between the sits bone and the heel. And begin to point and flex. This is neural flossing of the sciatic nerve, which is the largest nerve. It's about the size of your pinky in the body. And then we'll take some ankle circles. And switch directions. Hug that back. Take your belt, strap, whatever you got. Or you can do peace fingers around the big toes if you don't have a strap. Okay. Bring your left hand onto your left hip. We're going to keep that left hip down and back. So we're not going to create a twist in our lumbar spine. We're going to keep stable here. Slowly lower out to the right for abduction. It's okay to stop at any point in the journey here. And if you can keep your ankle below your hips, you'll be working more with adductor longus, which is part of our functional line. If you'd like to straighten out through your left leg, feel free to do that. Find dorsiflexion, activate that left leg. Again, using your left hand just to help you remind that hip to stay down and back. And we're going to inhale, slowly come back up. If it's uncomfortable for your low back, bend through the left leg for support. Otherwise, we're crossing over midline, taking the strap to the opposite side, opening up with the right arm, and finding a twist here. Nice deep full body breaths. Breathe into the right kidney. Even send your eyeballs long into the right hand. Even feel your right fingertips wanting to reach. And then inhale, we'll come back out nice and slow. Bend through the left leg, hug out with the right strap. Right knee. And release that aspect. Then we're going to take the right heel and just bring it underneath the left. Bring your right hand just below the right knee. And we're going to do some wiggles and jiggles. With your next inhale, press the right knee away from your head. Exhale, press the right knee towards the head. Resist for 2, 3, 4, and 5. And release that. And come back to wiggling and jiggling. So this is iliopsoas stretch or figure 4. Nice big inhale, press the right knee away from you. Exhale, press, resist for 2, 3, 4, and 5. And release. And one more time. Nice wiggles and jiggles. press the knee away. Draw the knee towards the head, resist. And release that. Back to wiggles and jiggles. Now we're going to draw the left knee. Keep the ankle where it's at. Draw the knee to the chest. This is modified pigeon. Stretching out the right piriformis muscle. Stay with your breath. Try to relax the right glutes, right hip a little bit. Excellent. Now we're going to release, cross the right leg all the way over, and we'll hug back one more time for Gomukhasana, Supta variation. You can grab onto the shins or you can just grab onto your knees, whatever's comfortable for you. Slight dorsiflexion of the feet. Nice deep full body breaths. Breathe into skin. Exhale, release that, but keep the legs crossed and we're going to take another twist. So just bring your left hand to the outside of the right thigh, open up the right arm, and find this variation. And inhale, slowly come back up. Uncross the right leg. And we're going to do all that on the opposite side. So start with hugging back. Left knee out towards the armpit, dorsiflexing through the foot. Right leg is bent, support through the right foot, keeping that right hip down and back. Come into your big, beautiful breaths. Keeping the jaw relaxed. Breathing into a sense of ease in the tissue as opposed to pain. Just noticing where the stretch feels good in your body. Extending through the left leg, interlace the hands or use a strap back on the hamstrings. Reach your heel to the sky. Reach the sits bones to the earth. Find your 2 points of direction. And notice the space in between those 2 points. And begin to point and flex. Coming back to the sciatic nerve flossing. You can have up a little bounce in this, a little Tigger-like quality. And then we'll take our ankle circles and switch directions. And then we'll hug that back to put our straps on the base of the toes or your belt. And again, you can use peace fingers around the toes if you prefer that variation. And again, we're just going to open up. We're not going to go for ballerina style. We're just going to allow the ankle to be below the top of the hips. Right hand is supporting right hip bone to drop down and back. So we're not over torsioning in the low back. When you find a comfortable place here, and you can have the foot hovering in the air, straighten out through the right leg if that feels good. Dorsiflex through the right foot so it's active, not passive. Relax your shoulders, breathe into the back ribs behind the shoulder blades. Create some space there. And with your inhale, use your core, bring the leg up, cross it over midline, switch the strap to the opposite hand. We're going to bring the left arm out, palm to the sky, and find a supine twist here. Counter gaze over the left shoulder if that feels okay for you. Noticing places of ease in the body. Where does it feel good? Breathing into left kidney. And to come on up, lifting up with the core, draw the leg back up. And we're going to hug it out. You could bend through the right knee. And do figure four. So bring the left ankle just below the right knee. Right hand comes onto right hip. Left hand just below the left knee joint. And start to find your wiggles and jiggles. Nice big inhale, press the knee away from you. Exhale, draw the knee towards the head. For 2, 3, 4, and 5. And release that. And back to wiggles and jiggles. Inhale, press the knee away. Exhale, draw the knee towards the head. Resist. 20% effort in resisting. 2, 3, 4, and 5. And relax. So we're not trying to force the change in the muscle. We're really just finding a soft resistance. Inhale, press away. Next length, exhale, draw the knee to the head for 2, 3, 4, and 5. And release. Wiggles and jiggles for a moment. Then we're going to hug back. Keep the ankle where it's at. Hug back with the right leg. Reach on through or use a strap. Soft yoking of the feet. And feel the stretch, hopefully, in your left piriformis. And breathe out to skin sensation. exhale, release that, bring the right foot down. We're going to cross the left leg all the way over, and we're going to hug that back. Supta Gomukhasana. Notice where this feels good in your body. Keeping the legs crossed, release that. Bring the right arm to the outside of the left. Extend through the left arm and find a gentle twist here. And inhale, slowly come back up. Bring the knees to the chest, Vipassana, rock around a little bit, and feel your low back. Feel that low back fascia. See if it feels a little bit more just yummy, hydrated. Notice the backs of your shoulders. Notice the lats. And just be playful here as you rock around, and see if you can notice a change in your tissue. Even use your eyeballs. Look around your room. Get curious to the corners. Good. And then we'll do one round of Dvipadipadam because I don't know. I just can't do yoga without Dvipadipadam anymore. So we'll come into bent knee position. Reach your fingertips towards the heels. And just take one cat-cow here, reclining variation. Find the tops of your hips down and back here. Once you've found that position, we're going to press into the feet, shooting the knees forward. Feel the engagement through the long strat muscles in the back body, the erector spinae. Making a straight line between the knees and the shoulders. Coming all the way up to C7 in the back body here, the base of your neck. Now exhale. Slowly lower down, touching the points of each vertebra to the mat as you come down. Now relax your hip bones, soften through the leg bones, soften through the ankles. Now let's bring that all back in, hugging the muscles towards the bones. From the ankles, all around your toes first. Engage the lower legs. Engage your femurs, your upper leg bones. Come all the way up, lifting the butt up off the floor, one vertebra at a time. Find neutral neck. And lower back down again from C7, reversing your way through the spine. And as your hip bones meet the earth, soften everything down. Relax the sacrum, relax the knees, the ankles. And take a full breath in here and exhale on out. And again, re-engage. Feel the pads of your toes pressing into the earth. Press into the heel bones. Send the knees long and forward. Coming up through the spine. And exhale, lower back down. Now we're going to add the arms in. So feel the pads of your hands. At the same time you feel your heels. Reach through the fingertips long. Bring the arms up overhead. As you lift up, let your eyeballs follow the fingertips. Then exhale, lower down. Coordinating that movement with the breath. Two more times. Inhale, press up. Really reach long with the fingertips, sending the eyeballs nice and long up overhead. And exhale. Bring that back down. One vertebra at a time still. Relaxing and softening the hip bones. Then back on your inhale, re-engage everything. Tops of the hips go down and back, shooting the knees forward. And exhale. As you're ready, come back down. Drawing the knees to the chest, hug it out. And again, rock around a little bit. Find the ease in the movement between the sacrum and the hip bones and the low back. Find what feels good in the body. You can even rock from side to side a little bit. And we're going to use this to come on up to a seat. You can rock up. If you have a blanket and you want to sit on a blanket for a moment, feel free to do that. We're going to come into Sukhasana. Sukhasana bothers your knees. Don't do that. Sit in something that's comfortable. Again, wiggle out. We need to orient our heads a little bit. Look around the room. We've been down on our backs for about a half an hour. And we'll take a few moments to come into the breath in meditation. Allowing your mind to focus on the quality of the inhale and the exhale. Non-attachment to the thoughts and the chitta. You're going to take a side bend out to the right, bringing the right palm to the floor. You can bend through the elbow. Inhale up with the left arm. Cross it over. Soften your left hip bone down towards the earth as you create length underneath the armpit. Taking the breath into the left rib cage, blowing it up like a balloon. And inhale, come back up. And we're going to take a twist to the right first before going to the opposite direction. Left arm comes up and over. Bring the right arm behind you. Gaze out over the right shoulder. Send the eyeballs long today. And exhale, slowly come back out of that. Plant your left hand. You can bend through the elbow to help with this. Inhale up with the right arm. We're going to side bend to the left. Let the right hip be heavy. We're fanning open the right rib cage. And even breathe into the right lungs like a balloon. Notice what feels good in the body right here. Inviting space between the tissues. And inhale, slowly come back up. I'm going to pick up the knees, straighten up the legs for a moment, and just wiggle and jiggle a little bit. Okay. Next position we're going to go into is onto all fours. For cat-cow. And we're going to start with just wagging the tail side to side. We're wanting to find that loosey-goosey quality, just finding movement and yumminess through our spinal column, not being locked up. And we're going to thread the needle here. Inhale up the right arm. We're going to thread it on through. Palm goes to the sky. Come down to your right ear. Bring the left hand down and back a little bit. We're going to press the palm into the earth and find the twist between the shoulders. Your right ear is going to be glued into the mat, and over the right ear is the temporal bone. We also want to feel that because we're going to track over from front to back of the temporal bone. So with your eyeballs, you're going to inhale, track through over the temporal bone and look up, twisting through the neck to the sky. Exhale, tracing over the temporal bone, over the ear, and look back down. And then 2 more times, looking up, nice and slow. And exhale, coming down. And 1 more time. Inhale, slowly come back out of that. And again, shake your tails. And we'll do the opposite side. Inhale up with the left arm, thread on through. Come onto the left ear. Connect to the temporal bone. Draw the right hand down and back. Find your twist. And with your next inhale, we're going to trace through over the ear to look up with the eyeballs to the ceiling. And exhale, come back down. Rotating through the head. And do that 2 more times. When you complete that, come on up to all fours, and again, we're just going to shake it out. Wag from side to side. Bring your big toes together. Drop onto the heels with your butt, and then come down into Balasasana, child's pose. Soften into your breath here in child's. Don't worry if your butt doesn't touch your heels. Just let it hang wherever it's at. Stay connected with your breath. And with your next inhale, come on up to all fours. And we'll take a couple cat-cows here. Inhale, look on up. Exhale, hunch and round. Draw the navel back. Gaze between the knees or to the navel. Find the yumminess in your spine here. Lots of movement. Moving into Chakra Vrksasana. Next time you exhale, drop back onto your heels. Drop the forearms. Inhale, snake on up. One vertebra at a time. Look up. Exhale, hunch and round. Press back. And inhale, snake on up. As you're snaking on up, realize that the core, the belly, is your movement center here. It's not so much that you're pressing up with your hands, it's that all this centeredness is supporting you and helping you move through space. So connect with that power in the core, in the center. And then inhale, come up to all fours, and again, shake it out side to side. And we're going to transition into a downward facing dog. So if you like to use blocks and you have them, feel free to use your blocks. Otherwise, we're going to tuck the toes, draw the navel back, and we're going to send the sits bones, the ischial tuberosities, behind us a little bit. Now play with this. You can walk the hands towards your heels or away and see what feels good in your own body. But try to find a pendulum or like a string from the navel center supporting you in this posture. The insides of the arms rotate a little bit so the elbows rotate outwards. You're hugging the skin and the muscles into the bone, but bones aren't necessarily heavy here. They have a lightness to them. Stay with your breath. Good job, everybody. If you get tired, you can drop your knees down. Oh, trying to decide which way I want to be. All right. From down dog, we're going to go to Anjanasana, low lunge. Inhale up the right leg. You can gaze underneath the armpit. We're going to take that right foot forward. You can pick it up. We're going to come up onto fingertips. If you have blocks, you can come up on blocks. Lift up with the breastbone. Good. From here, we're going to drop the back heel And so now you're in heel to heel alignment. You're going to press on up. Front knee is bent. We're going to come into our Virabhadrasana 2. A warrior 2 right here. And I'm going to adjust my screen so people can see me. There we go. Well, now you can't see my feet. Reach back with the back hand a little bit to draw the torso over the hips slightly. You can do classic variation, gazing over the front palm, or you can just gaze out over the heart. Press into the back heel a little bit, activate the back leg. And then we'll move into extended side angle. Any variation that you're comfortable with. Inhale back up to Virabhadrasana 2. Come into a reverse warrior for a moment. Then we're going to straighten the front leg. Come back to Virabhadrasana 2 arms, warrior 2 arms. We're going to reach forward nice and long and come into an extended Trikonasana. You can gaze out over the heart or look up at the upper hand. Stay with your breath. Strong back foot. Now gaze to the earth. Plant the hands. Step back into a down dog. If you want to take a chaturanga here, feel free to do that. Taking a moment to rest here in downward facing dog. I'm going to inhale up with the left foot. You can bend through the back knee, gaze underneath the armpit, draw the left foot forward, back to low lunge. In low lunges, if we can, we stack the knee over the ankle. Lift up with your breastbone. Then we're going to drop the back foot, heel to heel alignment, pressing right on up into Virabhadrasana 2. Reach back with the back hand a little bit, bringing so you're not jetting forward. We're bringing our torso over the pelvis. Press into the pinky side of the back foot. Feel the spiraling in the insides of the legs, opening you up. Nice deep full body breaths here. We're going to come into extended side angle. Any variation you're comfortable with. Inhale, come back up. Virabhadrasana 2 to reverse warrior. Then we're going to straighten the front leg and come right into a Trikonasana, extended variation. Keep pressing into your back foot, lift out of your waist. Feel the support from the lats into the arm bones. Gaze down to the earth. And we're going to come back to a downward facing dog. Allowing the breath to slow back down. Take a deep knee bend, look forward, walk or jump the feet forward, come to a half lift, exhale, forward fold, and then slowly unwind, reaching one hand at a time to come up to standing, or just send the hand straight forward and come up. Okay. We're going to end in Virkrasana today, tree pose. So find your mountain. Take a moment to find the base of your feet. We're going to pour the body weight into the right leg, and you can bring your left foot up. If you're by a wall, you can use the wall for support. And then we'll bring the hands wherever you need for balance. Any variation. Inviting a balance from lower body to upper body, from front to back. Feeling a lengthening of the breath, a softening. Inviting balance. And slowly release that, shake it out, and then we'll pour into the left side. So left leg is your support. If a full Virkrasana is hard for you on the left side, you can just bring your right ankle next to your left ankle for support, or you can work on trying to bring it up. And again, bring the arms wherever you need for balance. Find a sense of ease with the balance as opposed to struggle. Softening into your breath. And as you're ready, releasing that, coming back to a mountain that feels good in your body, stacking the hands just below the navel. Taking a moment to close the eyes. And to close the practice today, we're going to move into walking. So just start walking around the space that you're in. Notice any shifts in your body. Notice your back body. Notice broadness through the lats and support meeting the front. Just get a sense of any change and how that supports you in movement just in general walking. Excellent. So we're going to end, so feel free to keep moving, wiggling and jiggling and walking around. Thanks everybody. Namaste.